Hello my sweet friends and welcome back to another writing vlog. I am so excited about today because I'm going to be coming back to Project DA, which I honestly love a lot. Like, I know I talk about Project Orion being my baby, and we know that. I love Project Orion, it's great. But Project DA just makes me feel some type of way. I definitely just feel connected to the story. I just think the story itself is so cool and interesting and fun. So my goal is to finish the first draft. I worked on it in NaNoWriMo last year, but I did not finish the draft. I probably have like a third left of the story. And so the goal is to work on that, finish that. Hopefully, I'm saying hopefully February, which is completely doable, but I also tend to just like, everything always just takes me way longer than I think it will. I'm basically going to be rereading both the story and all my notes. So I've got like character profiles and the beat sheet and the outline and plot points and all this stuff, and then I'm actually going to go through and reread the first draft up until where I stopped, because I don't even really remember where in the story I stopped writing. Also, Alec thinks I look like a librarian in this shirt. So I was gonna wear my glasses, but I was like, well, I can't be full librarian. So right now we've got about 6.5 minutes left of this sprint, and I got my coffee. I can't even remember if I had physical notes for Project DA, which I'm sure I did because I always write physical notes, but like, I don't even remember where they are, so I should actually probably look for those. We are in a stream. We just did another sprint. Hi everyone, hello. We are having some fun. I am opening all of the documents that I have for Project DA. I cannot find my physical notes. I swear I had physical notes because I always do that, but I can't find them. So honestly, I might just have to go back and watch my NaNoWriMo 2020 vlogs and see if I wrote physical notes. Hi everyone, we've got so many wonderful people here today. Squishy Mochi the Third, we've got Nat, Lydia, Books and BB, I'm so sorry, Angel, Rami, OG Rami. We've got Bread and Sandwich, Zanae, we have Alec here. We have Dog Meat down here. Hi bub. He does not want to look at me. Hello everyone. It is the next day. I totally forgot to film the rest of yesterday, but I didn't do too much more. So I ended up going over the character profiles, which I totally forgotten I didn't actually make, because I have a character profile like template that I made that I like to do for all my characters, and I totally forgot that I did not do that for these characters. Instead, I had basically just written like a document, sort of a little bit about me kind of thing for each one. So I still haven't quite decided if I'm gonna do like the normal character profiles that I normally do with the template, but we're not gonna do that today, so we'll get to that another time. But I did also go over my beat sheet. I had made a very brief beat sheet outline that I went over. It's literally like just a page, and I totally forgot that I didn't even fill out some of the beats. So like theme stated, debate, break into two, be story, fun and games. Those are not filled out, but I think mostly with the beats that are in the second act, which is like the break into two, be story, fun and games, that's because a lot of it is very similar to each other. I think I remember what it was, I have an idea. I know that I'll have to fill that out and I'm actually gonna make like, here, I'll get out these. I also realized that I did not have any physical notes for Project DA, which is weird because I definitely thought I did. I'm gonna start making a to-do list for all the things that I know I'm gonna need to do going into, maybe not necessarily going into the rest of draft 1 because that's sort of the main goal here, is to just finish draft 1. But I guess more of a to-do list for maybe the time between draft 1 and draft 2, because I do like to let it rest and kind of take a break from it for a few weeks. So maybe within that time I can fill out the rest of this beat sheet and do the character profiles and all the stuff that I normally do. Finish beat sheet and fill out character profiles. And I also found my draft 1 scene outline. I cannot tell you how much I've missed a scene outline. I did not do one for this past NaNoWriMo 2021, but I always do that. I always do a scene outline, and it helps so much. I know I've talked about it before for those who are curious about what my scene outline looks like. I actually think I made a video last year during NaNoWriMo, or like just before NaNoWriMo, making this exact scene outline. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to read through the scene outline first before actually reading the manuscript, or honestly, should I even read the manuscript? I have the scene outline, but I don't want to, like, because it's a first draft, so it's not good. I'm scared if I actually like sit down to reread the first draft just so that I can finish the first draft, I'm gonna get caught up and like I'm gonna find plot holes, and like it's not good, so I'm going to find mistakes everywhere. And like I've mentioned, I probably have about a third of the draft left, and so maybe I should just read the scene outline so I can like remember where I was and where I was going with it, and maybe read like a chapter or two before where I'm gonna start again. But oh, now that I'm like thinking about it and talking it through out loud, I don't know if I want to read the manuscript. Okay, how about this? What I'm gonna do is read the scene outline and see how we feel. And I have also noticed I kind of stopped filling out, so the basic parts, actually, let me just show you the scene outline real quick. So here's the scene outline. I'm just showing like the first 2 scenes, but I basically have like the characters, time and place, and then I have the story event, which is like the main thing that happens in the scene, which is basically like, you know, this is the story. And then for each one I have a goal, the conflict resolution, can't remember if there was, oh yeah, and then I have my gold word count and the actual word count and the running total, but I don't think I'm gonna do that for first drafts anymore. It's definitely helpful during NaNoWriMo though. But basically here, you know, story event and then goal, conflict resolution. I stopped filling out the goal and conflict resolution pretty quickly. I'm not sure how I feel about that or what exactly my reasoning is, but at least right now I'm gonna go ahead and read the scene outline, basically just focusing on story event because that's what's gonna remind me about what's happening in the actual story. But I'll probably have to come back to this to fill everything else out because I just kind of left it there. Well, maybe not even fill this out because I make a new scene outline for each draft. So when we get to the second draft, I'll make a new scene outline, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm just like itching to get into this, so I'm gonna go ahead and start just reading the outline, focusing on the story events, remembering where I was, maybe writing down any notes, but trying to not get too carried away maybe. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna start on now. So I'm almost done reading through the scene outline. I am so far, I got to the point where I had stopped, I'm pretty sure, but I haven't read like the actual manuscript yet, so I don't know for sure which chapter I left off on, but I think I remember like the kind of the scene where I was at. But I'm past that now. I'm almost to the end of the book, well, when it comes to reading through the scene outline, and I just forgot how much I really do love this book and the story, and it's so exciting to me. Like even just reading the outline and those like random paragraphs of like what happens in each scene, I'm like so invested. I feel so I don't know, it's just exciting. I'm very passionate about the story. I'm just excited about this story. It just is so much fun. It was so much fun to come up with an outline, and I had fun writing it, and so it's, I don't know, I'm just getting excited. I'm getting back into it, and I'm feeling that excitement and passion again for this story, even though I know I have to go and draft, which sometimes is not my favorite. I truly just, I love this story, and I'm really excited to keep working on it. Hello, good morning. It is the next day. I kept reading through the scene outline yesterday, and I had like a few more scenes left that I didn't read, so I just read them just now, and I'm so angry at myself. So I'm going through reading the scene outline, and I get pretty in depth when I'm describing the scenes in the outline, and I try to get as much detail as I can and like really show like what I want the scene to be, and what I want to portray to the reader, like goals on my end as the writer of how I want to make the reader feel, and also just like what strictly does happen in the scene. And it's so good, and I'm like getting so invested in this. So as I'm reading through this outline, it's like, it's exciting. It's like I'm reading a book, and I'm really invested in it. And I get to like, I'm literally on the finale, like it's labeled finale scene, and I finish reading the scene and I go down and nothing's there. I did not even finish the outline with an ending. And now I'm mad at myself because I was so invested in this, just reading the outline, and I don't know where I was going with it. So it seems like another thing I have to do to add to the list is finish the scene outline. So I'm technically up to date when it comes to the scene outline. So now my next step, besides being mad at past Adele for not finishing it, is to actually start to, I'm not going to read the full manuscript I don't think, but I am going to read probably a chapter or two before where I left off, because I really don't think I remember where I left off exactly. So last year at the end of Nano, I stopped at chapter 20. I don't know if I finished chapter 20 or not, but so far looking down, chapter 20 is the last one that I have updated. They're not like super long chapters because this is a first draft and I was just like really getting the information down. So they're not super long. Like chapter 18 is 1900 words, chapter 19 is 2800 words. For chapter 20 I stopped at 962 words. I'm gonna connect sort of, I'm gonna scan some of these and try to figure out where I am in the scene outline, since I did just read the scene outline, so I'm more familiar with it in that format, and just kind of match it up so I know like what's happening context-wise. It's sort of a mystery thriller. It is more of a psychological thriller, and this is my first time writing a psychological thriller, and so there's a lot of small little like things at play here. I've got a lot of foreshadowing things. I've got a lot of like undertones of things that like come up later, but it's more about trying to figure out where I was when it comes to those like little hints that I have to drop. And thankfully I had written those things in the outline, which is why I was so invested in it, and then it just stopped. Okay, so I've been sitting here for maybe 2 minutes, sort of skimming chapter 18, because I think I decided that I was going to start at chapter 18 to read, and so I'm kind of skimming it to figure out where I am to match with the scene outline, just so I kind of know what the context is and what's coming up next and kind of what just happened. And I totally just realized I like did not just, since I'm skimming, I did not just read the first like sentence, and the first sentence of this chapter is literally, this chapter is the one that has all of the funerals, and I'm still not really sure how I want to do it, but I know that it will probably deviate from the scene outline. Because I was like looking at the scene outline and I'm like, I can't really find where this is. I'm like, am I missing something? Am I actually not at this part? But no, I just did not follow the scene outline for this, which is fine, but it's really annoying for me right now as I'm trying to figure out where I am. Okay, so I went back one more chapter just to try to find some sort of place, like a starting point where I know what's going on. And so chapter 17 is pretty kind of still in line with the scene outline. So I think I'm going to start at chapter 17, but the main goal when it comes to first drafts is just writing down information. At least for me, I don't make any of it sound good. I don't format it any good way. I talk to myself in it, like where I said, I think I'm going to deviate from the scene outline in this chapter. Okay, so I have my scene outline in front of me, and I've got Scrivener open in front of me, and I'm on chapter 17, and I'm going to just start here and start reading. Hello everyone, it is the same day, just a little bit later. I had some errands to run, so did that, done. It's now about 6:30 and I have not been able to stop thinking about the story. I just love the story so much, and I totally forgot just like how invested in this I was. And I'm really excited. I love it. I think it like somehow subconsciously affected my wardrobe choices for today, because now I'm all like dark academia today and I didn't mean to. Also, real quick, look at this new keyboard I got. It was in the garage. Alec had it and now it's mine. Ooh, pretty colors. I love it. It's so fun. So I'm sitting here reading and doing a time lapse. Okay, bub, look outside. There's like a Christmas parade going on right now. And a fire truck just pulled down here with its siren so loud. And now he's all hyped up. Hello, hello, it is the next day again. And I have just finished, reading through the rest of the chapters I said I was gonna read. So I've read through chapter 20, and okay, I'm actually gonna show this. Isn't this so funny? This was the last thing I had written last year for Nano on the 30th, with like an hour left of the day, and I was so tired of writing. I really just wanted to get the words in because I was so scared I wasn't gonna be able to. I just like this last sentence here. Please let this be enough words. Please God, I want to be done with this month, LMAO. So I'm done reading. I read, I think I said I started on chapter 17, so 17, 18, 19, 20. So I read 4 chapters for context to see like where I left off. And now that we have done that, the next chapter is just a blank chapter. So really, technically, we basically just start writing. Before I do that though, I'm going to sort of write out a plan. I want to make sure that like I know what I'm doing, I know where my head's at going into this, and I don't want it to take longer than it needs to. I want to make sure I can like just stay on track, finish this draft, so then I can give it a break, work on something else, and then come back to it, because I really am excited about the story and I'm ready to get like into draft 2. So where I wrote my previous notes of finish the beat sheet, fill out the character profiles, and finish the scene outline, I'm going to make an actual plan for, I don't know, I don't think this should take me like too much longer to finish the first draft. I've got, let me just count how many scenes I have left, even though the scene outline's not done. Okay, so according to the scene outline, there are 14 scenes left, although I think towards the end in the finale, near where I stopped, it can get a little muddled. Like it's not going to be a cut by cut scene type situation, because there was like a flashback and it's kind of like one big drawn out scene that I kind of split up, and so I don't know I'm gonna do that yet. But this is 14, and then after where I left off, it's honestly probably like 2 more scenes maybe. So that's about 17 scenes. I average about 1 to 3 scenes maybe per chapter. So just going based off of that math, I don't know why I say that like I know math, so let me check the calculator. We'll just say 17 divided by 2, which I know is not going to be even, so that's 8.5. So we'll go ahead and round up and just say there's about 9 more chapters left. So I'll be starting at chapter 21, because the last complete chapter was chapter 20. So from 21, 9 more. It's gonna be about 29 chapters just from reading and remembering writing it last year and also just sort of my normal sort of pace when it comes to writing first drafts. I feel like I could probably do a chapter every day to every 2 days, because the chapters are a lot shorter in the first draft, and obviously some of those will vary, especially near the end when I said there was like flashback and there are like these kind of muddled scenes. That's definitely, I feel like, gonna take a bit longer. I'm just gonna go ahead, I'll just plan for 3 days. We'll say one chapter takes 3 days, even though some of them will not take 3 days, they'll take like 1 day, but just to kind of make it even. So 9 chapters divided by 3 days, so we already have about 27 days. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just make it an even month. I'm gonna make it an even month because I just like rounding up and keeping it simple, and if I finish it before then, which according to our numbers will probably happen, but I'm not gonna say anything for sure and I don't want to jinx it, then I exceed expectations, and I'm so good at writing that I got it done before deadline. I also realized that I stopped labeling the chapter for each scene. So I had like the scene and then what chapter it's going to be in. I kind of stopped doing that like right where I left off, probably because, like I said, all the scenes kind of got a little like, I don't quite know how I'm going to do that yet, so I didn't label them for a chapter. But the chapters, again, that's nothing hard and fast, that is no set rule. It's more of just like a guide for me to follow, so that I don't get like too carried away. Like, what if this scene it's going way too long, then I know, okay, maybe let's not include the next scene, even though it was supposed to be in this chapter. This one went too long, so we'll just move that to the next chapter. Or like if a scene's too short, I can just move this one to this chapter, and just it's just kind of a nice guide for me to follow, just so I feel like I'm staying on track. So I stopped filling that out, so I think I'm going to fill it out based on just reading the scene and what happens in it, and you know, how much information is there, how many characters are in there, how long I think that scene is going to be. And if it's a longer scene, then it'll just be one chapter. Or, you know, if I feel like they're both maybe mid-range and they kind of go together, then I'll put them in the same chapter. I try to split scenes that are like ridiculously different, or like, I don't know, you just kind of feel it. You feel like where natural breaks are, and not just for scenes, but for the chapters. So I'm just gonna kind of follow that, feel my gut, naturally find where those breaks are, and split them up into chapters just for me to stay on track in my head. But I'm actually gonna do that in about an hour, because I just realized that my therapy session is starting now. So I'll see y'all after that. Alright, so I just finished working out a sort of general outline, not for the story, but for basically the plan of getting back into Project DA, and sort of what my goal is, what my plan is going into this, and also a general timeline of both draft 1, but then I kind of got carried away, and so also of draft 2 and draft 3. So we'll see how that goes. I just kept writing. So anyway, but I'm feeling a lot more confident with this. I don't think it should take me longer than a month to finish draft 1, and that is more of a liberal amount of time, I feel like. I would like to finish draft 1 by or within February. So that's what I'm hoping for, that's what I'm gonna plan for, and I'm excited to start getting into this. But basically that was what my goal was for this vlog. So I just wanted to kind of figure out where I was, pick up where I left off, make a plan and a goal moving forward for this project, because I really am so excited about it and I cannot wait for y'all to read it. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna end this vlog here actually, and then in the next vlog we're actually gonna start drafting again and writing words instead of just planning, and I'm pretty excited about that. Usually drafting is not like my favorite part of the writing process, but I'm excited for this story. I think it's gonna be good, and I think it's gonna be fun, And I'm also really excited to get back into writing without all the pressure of Nano and all of that added stress. So I'm excited to just kind of go at my own pace. So yeah, I can't wait to take y'all along with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like. It does help out the channel a lot. And leave a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what your goals are for the coming year, for the coming month, what you're working on, what you're writing, stuff like that. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.